Welcome to the third Cat's Waterbowl vlog. Now, if you're new, what we do on every Sunday is we do this thing called Cat of the Week. And what I do is I go and pick up the Cat of the Week photos. So I get them printed at a photo store. So for today, we have Ash. Say hello to Ash. Now there's a super cool story about how I was introduced to Ash, and I'm going to share it with you on the way to pick up the photo. So let's go, shall we? So we're in a little bit of a rush here, but we'll still say hi to some flowers. So there's these beautiful guys right here. Also these guys here. See if we can get a nice little zoom. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. Okay, we've arrived. We're gonna go pick up the Cat of the Week photo. Let's see if the same person's working today. Nope, different person. So originally I was gonna film this while driving, but I was super busy and I did not get a chance. But this is gonna be a story about the Cat of the Week. This is a super interesting story, and it's just a really interesting story. So I'm gonna rewind a little bit. I have this mic here. See the Rode mic that I just showed you? Now this mic is quite good, but there's some things I don't like about it. And this is called the Rode Wireless Go 2. Now the next step up is the Rode Wireless Pro. Now I've been wanting the Pros for a while, but the problem is they're very, very expensive, like $600 for mics. And that's just too much money for me, for microphones. But occasionally they pop up on Facebook Marketplace for a decent price. And you know, I've seen some, I've been watching Facebook Marketplace for the last probably a couple weeks now, probably 2 weeks, seeing if these mics pop up for a good price. People have been selling them for like $250, sorry, not $250. They've been selling them for like $550, $600, you know, $575, basically retail price. Now yesterday, I saw a listing pop up and they were brand new and in the box and they were being sold for $350. Now, the thing is, this person lived about 2 hours away from me, so I couldn't just drive and pick them up, right? Just kind of not feasible. So I messaged her and I said, hey, I'm interested in the mics, but I don't live, you know, very close. Do you ever come through my area? Because my area is pretty popular for, you know, people to travel through. And she said she doesn't, but she did say she was willing to ship them. And she was willing to video herself, like shipping them and all that. And I was like, okay. You know, I looked at her profile. She didn't look like, you know, she checked out, right? It wasn't a scammer. It wasn't just like a weird profile or anything like that. She was a real person. So I said, okay, you know what? Cool. We could probably work something out. Now, the thing on Facebook Marketplace is there's a lot of people that are buyers and they're not buying to use the product. So for example, this hat here, right? Let's say this is a collector's hat. Someone might be buying this hat, but they're not buying it to collect it. They're buying it to resell it. So when I messaged her, I said, hey, look, I'm not a reseller. I'm actually using this. I have a YouTube channel. And I shared Cat's Waterbowl with her. Now, the cool thing about having a cat channel is it resonates with a lot of people. So I've shared this cat channel with a lot of, you know, different people just I've met and stuff. And people like it all the time, which is cool. Very, very cool. So I showed it to her and she responded, you know, very cool channel. By the way, I have a cat. And I didn't think much of it, right? Cool, you had a cat, right? Obviously, you know, cool. This is the type of content for you. You'd probably love the channel, right? And that was kind of it. So anyways, we're talking a little bit. And then she said she asked me, do you want me to, like, I'll video the mics, like show you that they're in good, like they're brand new, there's nothing wrong with them and everything, right? So she's like, you know, we'll do like a FaceTime call or something, right? Like video call. So we do a video call and everything is cool, right? I'm gonna kind of skip past the mic part now because it's not that important. And at the end, she says, so tell me about your channel. She's just curious about the channel, like just kind of small talk. And I said, well, you know, we have Cat's Waterbowl, right? And it kind of told her how great the channel is and how great the audience is, or how great the viewer is, the kitty committee or the loafers, you know, we kind of switch it up a little bit. Haven't found the exact term to call ourselves, but I kind of switch up to both. So I said one of the things we do on the channel is Cat of the Week. And I don't know exactly how the conversation got to this point, but she basically was, you know, she's like, oh, that's cool, blah, blah, blah. And I said, you know, you should enter your cat into Cat of the Week. And I kind of just said it like, you know, being friendly. Did I think she was going to do it? I wasn't sure, right? You know, just being friendly, right? And She was like, yeah, sure. Yeah, that sounds really cool. So now you can probably make the story make sense, right? So anyways, about 3-4 hours go by after our call, and I get a little notification that she entered her cat into Cat of the Week, which was perfect. Ash is her cat, and she wrote a little story and everything. I didn't really think she was going to do it. A lot of people say like, oh, I'm going to do things, you know, and then they don't do it, but she did it. It was really, really cool. So I'm going to call her Miss P. I don't want to use her real name, I don't want to use her real name and full name or anything like that. So I'm just going to call her Miss P. So yeah, I just want to say thank you, Miss P. I really appreciate, you know, that you sent your cat in, Ash, and it was really cool getting your story out there. And it's just such a funny coincidence that, you know, through me looking to get this microphone, we ended up getting a really cool Cat of the Week. And yeah, that's the story. So I think there's a lesson in this story, and that's why I'm sharing it, because it's cool that we got a really cool Cat of the Week, but there's something deeper here. And that thing is people are a lot friendlier than you think. I think in this day and age, we have this conception that people are mean-spirited. They're out for themselves. They don't care about anyone else but themselves. And in a lot of cases, that's true. But I think you should give people the benefit of the doubt, because I think, and from my personal experience, people are a lot more friendlier, nicer than you expect. And if you're open to those sort of things, if you're open to people, you give them a chance, a lot of cool things can happen. Like this whole interaction with the microphone and Cat of the Week. We're two people, we didn't even know each other 2 days ago, right? No idea who we are. But because we're both open, we're friendly, you know, we both gave each other the benefit of the doubt, even though we were two internet strangers in the beginning. Something really, really cool happened, and special. Ash is going to be a part of this brand forever. Miss P, if you're watching this, Ash will be a part of this brand forever. She's going to be on the wall, the Cat of the Week wall. And when this brand is massive, absolutely massive, and we're, you know, doing amazing things, the cats on the Cat of the Week wall are not going to be forgotten. They're going to still be on a wall. And Ash is still going to be on the wall. And all this happened just because two people were, you know, friendly and open to something a little bit different and new, right? So anyways, I think people, you give a lot more credit than they deserve. People are a lot more friendlier than you think. So just go out there, give people the benefit of the doubt. So we're going to get back to the house. We're going to put Ash on the wall officially, and I'll see you there. Okay, we're back. We have our photo, Ash, and we are going to put him on the wall. Here we go. Let me just make sure it's lined up. Ash is now officially a part of Cat's Waterbowl. Thank you for watching.